Hi, I'm your L7 movie guy, PR Marks. This is the show for all your movie streaming recommendations and reviews. Let's get started. First up we have is Him, a horror sports film where Cameron Cade is a rising quarterback who suffers a potential career-ending injury after being attacked by an unhinged fan. Just when all seems lost, Cameron receives a lifeline by his hero, Isaiah White, to train him at his isolated compound. However, when the training starts to escalate and turns into something darker, it sends Cam down a rabbit hole that may cost him more than whatever he bargained for.
You're kidding. Are you telling me the truth?
Now, I know that this movie got a lot of bad reviews, and a lot of people didn't like its visual style over its substance. Still though, I thought I'd give it a watch anyways and see if all the consensus are true.
Wait for it.
And after watching it, I must say that this film was highly and totally misunderstood and misrepresented. Yes, of course, this is a visual striking film and comes across as a music video at times, with its editing of pacing as well as its cinematography especially. But when it comes to its story, I feel like it's a lot more interesting than people gave it credit for. Unfortunately though, it doesn't really happen until the third act, and the major problems come from the first two acts. That's because it seems to get really lost in trying to be mysterious and clever than it really was and set up hints to the big reveal, which just got really weirdly and oddly lost with its message along the way.
Did you get it? Did you get it?
As for the actors and their characters, I would say that the side characters were useful in continuing the story along, but felt very lacking in terms of their dialogue or expression of any emotion. Now for our protagonist that was played by Tyreek Withers, I would say he was pretty good as a character that was lost in his conflict as well as his struggles of trying to do the right thing, but is constantly trying to be seduced by others in the idea of greatness.
Are you flirting with me?
Now for our antagonist that was played by Marlon Wayans, he was definitely the major standout, because he did such a great job with his crazy outburst moments as well as other times had these really calm, collective, creepy moments as well, which really did help in building up the mystery aspect of this film.
We now return to the Scooby-Doo murder files.
Gee whiz, gang. Looks like the killer gutted the victim, strangled him with his own intestines, and then dumped the body in the river.
Jinkies, what a mystery.
You're right, Scoob. We're dealing with one sick son of a bitch.
In the end, this wasn't a terrible movie by all means, but it definitely does have its problems. I did really like, however, how it makes the sport of football into somewhat of an evil cult-like of a religion amongst fans as well as the industry.
Lord, though we have lost Neil Smith to free agency and Steve Atwater to the Jets, still, we hope our beloved Broncos can bring home another Super Bowl championship and once again bathe in the glory of your light. Amen.
Amen.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Broncos.
Broncos.
Let's go, Broncos.
Broncos. Let's go.
But with its visual storytelling being the main focus of its pacing, as well as a confusing resolution that is open up to different types of interpretation, which I kind of liked, but it won't resonate with everybody, so that is why I'm going to give this one a nay. But for an audience thumb scale, I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5, just for its uniqueness. Now I want to take a quick break and give a shout out to my coworker Stephanie, because we were part of this Christmas gift exchange and we barely just did it recently. I know, but people were on vacation. Anyways, she had these 2 custom hats made. Here is one of them. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's the intro to my show with the old logo, and they came out really good and they're awesome. So I'm definitely going to be wearing this out and about. And I just want to say thank you again, Stephanie. You rock. Last up we have is Together, a supernatural body horror film where years into their relationship, Tim and Millie find themselves at a crossroads when they move to the countryside, as they abandon everything that is familiar in their lives except for each other. Now with tensions already flaring, a nightmarish encounter with an unnatural force threatens their lives, their love, and their flesh.
I'm melting.
Now I must say that I was really excited to see this one after watching its trailer. And I was really hoping that it would deliver all its craziness that it promises in terms of horror visuals. But unfortunately, it was strong at certain points, but then takes a nosedive into lame in other points.
We're going down!
And what I mean by that, it definitely doesn't commit to the bloody aspect, but more commits to the body morphing aspect, but only goes so far and not far enough. Instead, it focuses way too much on the relationship aspect of these two characters that eventually just becomes overbearing. Sure, this film has its typical jump scares as well as its intense moments that potentially gave it its awesomeness. That's because from a technical standpoint, it's only impressive with its practical makeup effects, its CGI effects, as well as its physical body movement choreography.
Now, Homer, this is a new body fat analysis test. I start you jiggling and measure how long it takes to stop. Woohoo! Look at that blubber fly! Yes. Nurse, cancel my 1 o'clock.
So when it comes to our side characters, I would say they all felt average for the most part. Cause most of them, if not all of them, were not existent or exciting enough to do anything in terms of screen time. As for our main two characters, on the other hand, I would say they worked really well with each other in terms of their chemistry as well as their believability. Which is probably due to the fact that they're married in real life and their dialogue just seems effortless. But that was also the problem with this film because their love just felt sappy and a little too much at times, which was just sickening.
There you go. Get it all out.
What did work best though in terms of their acting was probably when they were panicking, terrified, or when they were just plainly arguing with each other. That's because it just felt more natural and just helped push the story along in terms of entertainment.
Are you not entertained?
Overall, this was kind of a letdown, but could be a decent watch if you and your significant other have nothing else to watch. Me, on the other hand, feels like it starts off really strong and the first 2 acts are pretty good, but the third act, especially the ending, the director and writer take it to a place where it could be possibly crazy insanity to a direction where it's just laughable and has bad choices.
Very good. Thanks.
Now, there are glimpses of other films in this, like the film The Thing, as well as the film that starred Natalie Portman, Extinction, but it wasn't shocking enough or that complex enough to figure out, so that is why I'm going to give this one a nay. But for an audience thumb scale, I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5. Well, that's all the time we have. As always, smash that like and subscribe button. And if you liked any of the movies we discussed, please leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching, and may the movies be with you. Lates.